unions across the country are looking for ways to save money without cutting jobs, and that includes some proposals of even shorter school weeks.
Yeah, but there's a problem. President Obama disagrees with that. He wants a longer school year. Here's what he had to say back in March.
I'm calling for us not only to expand effective after-school programs, but to rethink the school day to incorporate more time, whether during the summer or through expanded day programs for children who need it.
Okay, no kids were clapping. So what's the answer to the education problem? We're back with another grown-up, former Florida Governor Jeb Bush, who's in D.C. to host the Excellence in Action 2009, a National Education Reform Summit. Governor, where do you stand on what the President just said about lengthening the school year?
I think that those ultimately are going to be the decision of the people on the ground. The strategies to make sure that we have student learning ought to be centered at the school level. But I do admire President Obama's commitment to take on the education establishment, the unions, and the folks that are really adult-centered. This is a place where I think we need to find common ground, and both the Secretary of Education and the President deserve credit.
And one of the problems, Governor, is the fact that in Hawaii, his home state, the President's home state, apparently rather than have any layoffs, the union out there for the teachers have said, you know what, we're going to have 17 furlough days. And they've gone along with that. That way they don't have to lay anybody off. Unfortunately, the kids get shortchanged because rather than 180 days in school, which is the national standard, they're going to wind up spending 163 days in school so that the teachers don't lose any jobs.
Look, we spend more per student than any country in the world. Our outcomes are not what we want. I think we need a total transformation of the system that makes it student-centered and that we focus on the unique ability of each child to learn. Right. And so in some cases it may be longer school days, in some cases it may be longer school years, in some cases it may be embracing the internet and online learning, eliminating social promotion. There's lots of things that could be done, but we need to move away from the adults in the system and focus on the fact that God has given each child the ability to learn, and if they don't do it, we're creating huge burdens for society. If they do it, we'll be, competitive going forward. So this is, to me, outside the current economic challenges we face, this is the #1 priority for our country.
Yep, that's why you're hosting Excellence in Action. Quick question, Governor, before you go. A couple weeks ago, we saw Newt Gingrich and Reverend Al Sharpton in a very unusual pairing, pushing education reform together. What would be different about what they're doing versus what you are doing with your program?
Very little difference. Maybe we're proposing more school choice than perhaps what Mr. Sharpton accepts. But by and large, the fact that these two men are together embracing education reform is spectacular. And I think it's great. I admire both of them, and I think that they're on the right track for sure.
And by getting up and joining us this hour, you are replicating the middle school hours, because my son is in 8th grade and he's up at the same time as Governor Jeb Bush was booked for our show. And good luck with your Excellence in Action Summit over in Washington, D.C. I know it was in planning for a while. Thanks, Governor, for joining us this morning.
Thank you, guys.
All right.